Imagine walking through a remote Montana forest and discovering a colossal wall composed of blocks so perfectly crafted that they seem to have been sculpted by a lost civilization. This is the Sage Wall, a structure that arouses amazement and theories about its possible megalithic origin. On this trip, we will explore every corner of this place, from its impressive appearance to the mysteries that have captivated explorers and enthusiasts of the past. Join us as we unravel the history of one of the most intriguing walls in North America and discover its true origin. Let's get started. The Sage Wall, also known as Montana's ancient megalithic wall, is a formation with such a precise appearance that it seems impossible that nature could have created it alone. Its blocks have rectangular shapes, so marked that they are reminiscent of the stones of megalithic constructions such as Sacsayhuaman in Peru or Baalbek in Lebanon, which has led more than one to wonder if we are not facing a forgotten legacy of a lost civilization in North America. The Sage Wall is located in the Pryor Mountains, a mountain range that rises south of Billings, Montana, near the Wyoming border. The wall stands at an altitude of more than 2,000 meters, or 6,561 feet above sea level, in a rugged and remote environment, far from paved roads and off conventional tourist routes, which has allowed it to retain its mystery almost intact. Although there is no official discoverer recorded, the formation began to gain notoriety in the 1990s, when local mountaineers and explorers began sharing photographs of its massive blocks and comparing them to ancient ruins on other continents. Since then, its fame has spread through alternative archaeology forums, mystery groups, and exploration channels, which have dubbed the Sage Wall one of the most enigmatic walls in America. In terms of dimensions, some segments of the Sage Wall exceeding 3 meters or 9 feet in length, with blocks that are more than 2 meters or 6.5 meters high and 1 meter or 3 feet wide, giving the impression of having been carefully carved and placed one on top of the other with a precision that defies logic. Its perfect geometric shapes, aligned almost as if rules and levels had been used, make this place feel like a piece of history that refuses to reveal its secret. When you find yourself in front of the Sage Wall, the first thing that strikes you is the almost impossible precision of its blocks. To the human eye, they appear to be stones cut and placed with intentionality, as if megalithic artisans had worked the rock for years. At first glance, a pattern of straight lines and almost perfect angles is observed that repeats itself over tens of meters, creating a hypnotizing effect reminiscent of Inca walls or the Cyclopean ruins of the Mediterranean. The blocks are stacked on top of each other in several rows, with an appearance reminiscent of colossal bricks. Each brick features flat faces, defined edges, and horizontal lines that suggest intentional work, as if they are being carved and aligned following a plan made by an architect. Some blocks seem to protrude slightly, while others are perfectly fitted, as if they were part of an anti-seismic construction system similar to that of ancient civilizations. The surface of the Sage Wall is rough and eroded, but its edges remain surprisingly well preserved. When walking next to it, one perceives a sensation of monumental scale, as several blocks measure more than 2 meters in height and up to 3 meters in length, probably weighing several tons each. The color of the formation varies between shades of gray, brown, and green, depending on the humidity and time of day, accentuating its mystical appearance. The structure is not a uniform wall, but follows the natural curvature of the mountainside. In some sections, the blocks lean slightly backwards, as if they had been built to withstand the passage of time and the forces of nature. In other areas, the blocks appear fractured, but retain an alignment that continues meters ahead, as if the wall were hidden under the ground or among the vegetation. From certain angles, the complex resembles an abandoned fortress, as if it were the last vestige of a civilization that disappeared without a trace. When touching the stones, the sensation is one of extreme solidity, with a dull echo that reverberates when gently struck against the surface, intensifying the feeling of mystery. Visitors to the Sage Wall describe an overwhelming atmosphere, as if the place speaks of a forgotten past. Could it be evidence that an ancient people were capable of lifting these gigantic stones with remarkable precision? Or is there something else behind this formation? The Pryor Mountains, where the Sage Wall stands, aren't just a remote and rugged place. They're sacred lands for many of North America's First Nations. The region was and still is inhabited by tribes such as the Shoshone, Salish, Kootenai, Blackfeet, and Crow, people with a deep spiritual and cultural connection to the land, mountains, valleys, and landforms that surround them. For these tribes, the natural world was, and is, a living being filled with spirits, ancestors, and unseen energies. Mountains are guardians, caves are portals to the underworld, and certain rocks bear witness to pacts and prophecies. Their oral traditions recount the presence of protective spirits, sacred animals, and mythical episodes that occurred in landscapes similar to the Sage Wall. In this context, it is tempting to think that the Sage Wall could have been a place of worship, a meeting place, or a ritual for these people. However, the archaeological evidence suggests otherwise. Despite the impressive appearance of the wall, archaeologists who have studied the area have found no traces of stone tools, campfire remains, shells, petroglyphs, pictograms, or offerings that would indicate the performance of ceremonies or prolonged settlements in the vicinity. Ethnographic studies and historical records collected by missionaries, traders, and explorers since the 18th century also do not mention the Sage Wall as a site of ritual or mythological importance to these tribes. It is as if, despite its fantastic appearance, the place has remained in the background in the spiritual universe of the native peoples. Why? Was the Sage Wall already a ruin when the first peoples arrived? Or did its geometric appearance not arouse spiritual interest? This absence of clear archaeological evidence has further fueled the mystery, giving rise to theories that speak of vanished civilizations, unknown peoples, or even builders of eras so ancient they left no trace in the memory of later cultures. The inevitable question for any visitor is, was the Sage Wall erected by human hands? After contemplating the impossible precision of its blocks, walking its straight lines, and letting your imagination run wild with the idea of a lost civilization, it's time to unveil the truth. The Sage Wall was not built by human hands. Despite its almost perfect appearance, most geologists agree that we are dealing with a natural formation, the result of geological processes as ancient as they are extraordinary. The key lies in a phenomenon known as diastrophism, which is natural fractures that occur when rocks, subjected to enormous internal pressures and temperature changes, crack along planes of weakness. This process can yield surprisingly rectangular blocks, creating structures that, viewed from a particular perspective, resemble walls carved and aligned with almost artificial precision. In the case of the Sage Wall, geologists who have studied the area explain that the formation is primarily composed of limestone and dolomite from the Paleozoic period, dating back between 300 and 500 million years. During that time, tectonic movements in the Earth's crust caused pressures that generated orthogonal fractures at angles close to 90 degrees, dividing the rock into rectangular prisms. After millions of years of erosion, these prisms were exposed as giant blocks stacked on top of each other. These processes aren't unique to Montana. In places like the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland or the Devil's Causeway in Arizona, you can see natural formations that challenge our perception of what nature is capable of creating. However, the Sage Wall stands out for its almost architectural appearance. Its straight lines, the shape of its blocks, and the alignment of its faces give an illusion of human design so convincing that it has fascinated explorers, tourists, and fans of mystery. Differential erosion also plays a key role. While the softer areas of the rock are worn away by wind, rain, and ice, the harder blocks retain their edges, maintaining the appearance of a megalithic wall. Over the millennia, vegetation and the processes of freezing and thawing have accentuated these fractures, perfecting the effect of a deliberately sculpted wall. In other words, the Sage Wall is a testament to the incredible geometry that nature can generate without human intervention, reminding us that the Earth, with its tectonic forces and infinite patience, can create works that rival the most impressive achievements of any ancient civilization. The Sage Wall remained relatively anonymous until the late 1990s, when stunning images of its perfectly aligned blocks began circulating in exploration magazines, alternative archaeology forums, and later in blogs and internet videos. That's when Montana's megalithic wall rose to fame among the mystery enthusiast community, who began calling it the Lost Wall of North America. On dozens of websites and YouTube channels, photos of the Sage Wall were accompanied by headlines such as "Proof of Vanished Civilizations," "Remains of an Unknown Pre-Columbian Culture," or even "Ruins of Giants." Some claimed that only a civilization with advanced technology could have created a wall of such size and precision in such a remote place. Comparisons to Sacsayhuaman, Baalbek, or the Mayan pyramids went viral, fueling the legend of a possible hidden past in Montana. Part of the controversy lies in the very nature of the formation. To the human eye, its right angles and perfectly fitted blocks are so uncommon that it's natural to wonder if someone placed them there. And when the imagination encounters a mystery with no immediate explanations, all kinds of theories are born. However, the geological and scientific evidence is clear. The Sage Wall is an entirely natural formation, the result of diastrophism and tectonic fractures that occurred over millions of years, shaped by Earth pressure and erosion. Studies conducted by local geologists and experts from American universities have documented the process that explains the wall's structure, indicating that there is no evidence of human intervention. Experts note that the phenomenon of apparently carved blocks is more common than previously thought and can be found in other mountain ranges worldwide. The difference is that, in the case of the Sage Wall, the spectacular nature of the formation and the mysterious aura of Montana combine to create a modern myth. Today, the Sage Wall remains a thought-provoking place. It teaches us how nature can create shapes that seem artificial, and how our minds are constantly looking for patterns and stories behind what we see. Although scientific data dispels doubts about its origin, the magnetism of the Sage Wall continues to attract explorers, curious people, and dreamers, reminding us that there are still corners of the world where Earth seems to whisper ancestral secrets.